be here in front of you all. First of all, just want to say I was not supposed to be in class today, so but I'm just doing that service. His Grace Nanda Maharaj Prabhu is supposed to be, but he's attending the funeral, so he gave me that service, and I'm so grateful because of that. I went to do some deeper research and read more. So I'm so grateful to Prabhu for giving me this opportunity and sharing with you. I'm not qualified, but I will do my best. So let's do Jai Radha Madhava, and then we'll go into today's topic. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Givaradhari, Jaya Givaradhari. Yashodhanandana Vrajajananandana, Jamunatira Vanachari, Jamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Giri, Radha Giri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnanitinandasya Jnananjanakshalakhaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Rupam Sarvajatam Sarvana Raghunatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parjana Shritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Bhavan Sarvana Lalita Shri Shakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuraiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So, like I was saying earlier, His Grace Nandamaraj Prabhu was supposed to give class today. He's attending a funeral for a devotee who left her body last week. Her name is Her Grace Radharani Mataji. She's a congregation member of Iskcon Brampton. She left her body last week while the Sunday feast was going on here. She was in Calgary, and she was fighting a battle against cancer. Unfortunately, she left her body. And so today is her funeral is happening. So Prabhu is attending that funeral. So we will say the Mahamantra 3 times for the departed soul, so that she attains the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Radharani Mataji ki. It is said that appearance and disappearance of a Vaishnava is both glorious. Mataji, when she left, there were devotees around her, and also devotees from here chanting. And she was also chanting, she was saying Krishna, Krishna, and she left her body while chanting. So this is such a glorious departure. So today we will be talking about a very one of our acharyas, and that he is called the Lion Guru. So we are talking about his divine grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. How many of you know about or heard about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Can I get a show of them? So many of you. How many of you have heard about A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada? Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada, his guru is His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So if Prabhupada is our grandfather, he is our great grandfather. So it's as important to glorify, or even sometimes more important to glorify, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we'll start with a story. Once the great sage Narada, he was traveling. While traveling, he met many people, and here we're talking like 3 types of people. And he was giving blessings to whoever he met. It's kind of an echo, right? It's okay? You can hear okay? Yeah, so while traveling, he met like 3 types of people. Actually 4 types of people. And he was giving blessings. So the first was a prince. So the prince, when he met, he said, Rajaputra Chiram Jiva, meaning you are a king's son, a prince, you live forever. And then he met, after that, a Rishi Muni. Rishi Muni means the son of a Rishi or a Brahmachari, and it's celebrated. And for the Brahmachari, he said, Muni Putra Majiva, meaning you don't live. And then the third person was the devotee. For the devotee, he said, Jivava Marava. And then the fourth one was Rucha. He said, Ma Jiva Ma Mara, means you don't live and you don't die. So let's explain quickly what that means. For the prince, because he had such a lavish lifestyle, right? He was in such great comfort, very happy in his materialistic lifestyle. He said, you live this life. Because when you die, you will see the other side, you'll see the hellish planet, which will be really hard for you. So he said, continue to enjoy this, because once you die, it will be very difficult. For the Brahmachari, he said, you don't leave. Because why? He's been following the regulative principles, he was very serious about his bhakti, and he was ready. So he said, there's nothing left for you here. You go back to Godhead. You go in the spiritual world. For the butcher, he said, you don't die and you don't leave. Meaning, what a life. Every day he has to kill, he has to slaughter animals for a livelihood. So what kind of life is it? So neither is living, and when he dies, he will go in the hellish planet. It will be, really bad. So he said, you neither live, neither die. For the devotee, he said, either you live or you die. Why? Because for the devotee, it does not matter. Whether you are here or whether you are in the spiritual world, the devotee is always surrendered to the Lord and performing devotional service. Right? So that's the story of today. Is for an acharya, in appearance and disappearance, when they are here, it doesn't mean anything. It's both are glorious. That's why we celebrate when there is a departure. Yes, we are sad that they are no longer with here, but we celebrate a departure, we celebrate the appearance. You will hear that I did not say take birth, right? They appear because they come here with a mission. They're here to do something. They've been sent from the spiritual world for a mission, so that's why they appear. So let's talk a bit more about His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I have about 20 minutes. So he was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sorry. Thank you. Yes. So he was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a government officer, and he was a great Vaishnava. He's one of our acharyas, and he was a magistrate. So, and his mother's name was Bhagavati Devi. So he was born on February 6, 1874. I remember this year because that's the same year I was born, but 100 years later. So, yes, so since, so his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was in charge of Jagannath Puri temple. And he was such an exalted devotee, you know him in the disciplic succession, but also from he had a very high position in the government. At that time, the Britishers were still there ruling, but they had such high esteem for him. He was like a very high level, almost the same level as the governor. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they were living on that street, Grand Avenue, so which is where the Jagannath Yatra goes, that large street. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was, since he was a small baby, like from 4 years old, he was completely into philosophy and he was so much into understanding religious activities and all that, right? So he was completely imbibed into it. So since he was a small kid, so he got the knowledge from his father when he was small. His father was teaching him. As from when he was 3 years old, he wrote a verse on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like 3 years old, he's walking around, he wrote a verse. When he was 7 years old, he mastered most of the Vedic literatures, and he knew the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses by heart, and most of the Upanishads, right? So he was really, really, really intelligent, really sharp, and he knew the philosophy, on the tip of his hand. So, so at the age of 3, when the Rath was going through in front of the house, it's a little bit, maybe the light, if somebody can turn off this light. So when the Rath was going in front of the house, the Jagannath Rath stopped. And not because there was some malfunction or something, it just stopped there, it didn't move. And his mother, who had the baby, he went to visit and to look at the Rath. And because she was the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they let her go inside. And she was able to climb on the Rath, this big Rath. And when she climbed there, she put the baby on the lap of Jagannath, in front of Jagannath. And one garland fell from Jagannath and came on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Another time, when he was small, his father had kept some mango for offering bhoga. And a child, he was walking around, he just grabbed the mango and ate. 3 years old. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur told him that this mango was meant to for bhoga, right? And why did you eat it? So he took that personally on him, that he offended, right? And since that day, from 3 years old, he stopped eating mango. Because he said, I offended the Lord because this was supposed to be offered. I should not have ate it. And he never ate mango again. That was the kind of conviction he had. And so his father was his initial Shiksha Guru, who was teaching him all the Vedic knowledge. And after some time, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he realized that he has done quite a lot, but now he's old, he's tired, he's not able to continue doing the same level of teaching and preaching also. So he prayed to Lord Jagannath. He said, Lord Jagannath, please send somebody. Please send somebody who can take the mission forward. At that time, what happened that there was a lot of other philosophies that was becoming prominent, like Mayavadi philosophy, like the Sahajas. Sahajas are like those who pretend, right? Like for example, they would dress up like men would put white sari and then take Tulsi, right? And then they would dance around, they will pretend that they are the gopis, right? Like that. And they will have beard as well, you know. But there was a lot of this Mayavadi philosophy as well. So it was becoming really, really difficult. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prayed to Lord Jagannath, he said, send somebody. And so happened that when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born, when they checked his astrological chart, everything was perfect. Like, you know, all the different houses and all that they checked, everything was like perfect. And he had like different signs on his hand. He was like really, and when he was born, like you would see that his head was bigger than the rest of the body, like proportionally. These are signs that intelligent person and also something not ordinary. So they had all the signs, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he realized, he knew that his son is not somebody ordinary. So he trained him. He told him afterwards, I've showed you what you should be doing. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was really intelligent, right? So he was so intelligent that he could go into the library and he can read so many literatures in such a short time. Even philosophy, things that would take months, like the Siddhanta and all those other literatures would take months to master. Sanskrit and all that, he would do it in a week, right? And so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur told him, now you should take initiation. And so he said you should take initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, because he's a very exalted Vaishnava, and you should go talk to him. So Gaur Kishore Babaji, he was a bhajanandi, meaning he was chanting all the time. He constantly chanting. The other type of devotees, there's two types of devotees, bhajanandi and goshtani. The goshtandis they would go out and preach, try to propagate the movement. Bhajanandis are those who would be sitting and focusing, meditating. They are very advanced devotees. They would be chanting constantly. But he was, so when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to see him, he said, please give me Diksha. So Gaur Kishore Babaji, he said, no, I'm not qualified. I cannot give you Diksha. Go, I cannot give you this. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he went, he was so sad, but he said, no, I still want to, he wanted to speak with his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he said, you should go back and try to convince him. Because he's such an advanced devotee, it would be the best thing that can happen to you. Every time he went to talk to him, Gaur Kishore Babaji would tell him, no, I think come back in 1 week. And then he would come back in 1 week and he still say, no, I'm not ready. Finally he said, I will go talk to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will pray to him. And next time he came, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told me, no, don't take any disciples. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, he went and still, he said, if I will take initiation, it will be only from Gaur Kishore Babaji. It's not like once you identify a guru, you go shop around. No, so he was fixed that this is the person I want to take. So he went and he begged him, he was there serving. Finally, Gaur Kishore Babaji, he gave him initiation. He said, go take it back to the river. And then when he came, he gave him the mantra, he gave him the initiation. Since then, this is like a paradigm shift in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur life. Made a big change. Because before, he was like a scholar. he can defeat anybody. Like, not even like those top scholars that were there at that time, they would come and challenge him, and he would defeat them like this. Not just those scholars, the gurus of those scholars, he would defeat them in philosophy and in Siddhanta. But then he realized that his whole life he's been on only as a scholar. Then he realized, he said, I don't want to be a scholar. I want to be a Vaishnava. I want to be, like, you know. And he started promoting Krishna consciousness, the personal form of Lord Krishna, right? And this is where whenever he's called the Lion Guru, because whenever others will see him, especially the Mayavadis, they are coming on the street, they will see him, they will change the side, they will go on the other side, because they know that if they come across him, he will stop there and say, why do you think Krishna doesn't have a form? And then they will, like, as soon as the answer, they will come with other arguments. And finally they will say, okay, and they will become a devotee. You know? So he was so strong. So, but eventually he said, I want to dedicate my life for promoting this, as a Krishna consciousness. So we look at the chronology of how the disciple succession is after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. He came 500 years ago. His disciples were the 6 Goswamis. Right? So 6 Goswamis. After the 6 Goswamis, then there was Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. He is the one who wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita. After that, Narottam Das Thakur, the Namacharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Balaji Vidyabhushan, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and then Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There's a small mistake there. The arrow should be going from Jagannath Das Babaji to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because he was the spiritual master for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he wrote so many books, poems, glorifying the Lord Krishna. And his famous book was called Sri Chaitanya, His Life and Precepts. Like we said, even during the British rule, he had a very high position. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was born on the 6th February. And he set up the Gaudiya Math in 1920. He set up 64 centers and 3 printing presses. The printing press was to print magazines. There's a magazine called Harmonies, yeah, just blank one. And he said, he told Prabhupada, for example, he told his disciples, if you're doing kirtan in one room, that Mridanga you can only hear within this room, but the sound of the printing press can be heard all around the world, because the books can be distributed all around the world. So that's why he put a lot of emphasis on books. And those printing press, he even brought them from the US. His Holiness Radhanath Swami, when he went to see his place, he saw that on one of the printing presses was written Cleveland, Ohio. You know, such a great importance he was giving to books. So he wrote so many books, and like we said, he was a big opponent of the Sahajas, Casteism, divine philosophy. You know, those are Mayavadis and all that. And then after him, then Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who was born in 1896, and he got initiation from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When he didn't have too many interactions with Maharaj, but the last time before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left this material world the day before. He told him, so Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said, I'm a householder. I cannot serve you just like your disciples who are with you, are serving you. What instructions do you have for me? Then he said, you know English. You should propagate this Krishna movement in English and in other places. That was the instruction that he gave to Srila Prabhupada. And afterwards he left God. Srila Prabhupada is when he speaks about his Guru Maharaj, he said, all that I've done so far is because of him. It's because of his instruction. He took that one instruction and just, he said, this is the purpose of my life. Then he took the boat, Jaladutta, came to the US, and the rest is history. He set up 108 temples, thousands of devotees, and that the books were distributed. So that's the potency of a spiritual master, right? The spiritual master sometimes is heavy. It gives you message of what is good for you, what is not good for you, and sometimes it tell you what is beneficial, because acharyas, they come here for a reason. They are compassionate. They are not worried about themselves. At that time, the Brahmanas were really, really strong, and they said, why are you doing this? You should, as a Brahmana, just follow the principles, get liberation. But he said, I'm not interested in liberation. So he was doing everything to please Krishna and to propagate the movement. And one time when Prabhupada asked, he told Prabhupada, go and preach in the West. And Prabhupada said, Guru Maharaj, right now we don't have, we're still under Britishers' rule. Let's get independence first, and then we'll go, we can do that. And he said, this politics won't stop, but this movement, this thing is urgent to share Krishna consciousness with the rest of the world. So he had that urgency. He told him, you don't wait, you go right away. So that's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how he was very, very strong. That's why he's called the Lion Guru. We spoke about some of his numerous pastimes. So what are some of the things that we can learn from him? First, be very strong in your spiritual practices. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was very, very strong in his practice. He was also, for example, in certain times, he would follow certain things very strictly. Like Chaturmasya, for example, he used to eat only once per day, and very strong sadhana. He used to chant 192 rounds. I mean, we cannot copy the acharyas, but we can get inspiration from them, right? So, what is the inspiration? Is to be serious about our spiritual practice. So, which means our daily chanting, our daily sadhana, we can be more serious about it. The next thing is engage in service. So when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he could have stayed in India. The main reason why he didn't come to the West is because at that time, even in India, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. So that's why he was sending his disciples. Some went to Europe, Germany, London, and then Srila Prabhupada came to the US. He wanted to share that information, that wisdom with the whole world. he was very innovative. When he would invite, VIPs, even from the British, they would come and they would attend his programs. And sometimes, at that time, everybody used to sit. He would say, bring chairs, bring them sit. He would not necessarily follow what's in there all the time. He would come up with new ideas. He would also organize dramas and diaporamas. For example, how you can show, like we do, somebody is going through something, and then he disappears for some time, transformed, and you can see him coming as a devotee. Those kind of visual effects. At that time, he had that kind of idea. You know what I mean? So different. Just like we have those circle of birth and death, those kind of visual effects. But he has several of those. He was preaching like that. He had those moral values. He was very strong in his principles, right? Whatever he went, he was strong. He was always preaching about the Lord. So this year marks 150 years of his appearance date. The government of India has also recognized that the cultural, what he has brought to culture, and they recognize it by having that stamp for 150 years. And what I wanted to do next, we have 5 minutes. I would like to sing a bhajan to glorify the Acharya, and then we'll wrap it up here. I was told to wrap up around 12:50, so hopefully we'll do before that. Hare Krishna. So you can repeat after me. It's not too. I hope you can repeat. I don't know how to. Yeah, I can't see. Over there you can use it. Oh, he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagora, Edase Koruna Kori. Oh, he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagora, Edase Koruna Kori. Oh, he Vaishnava Thakura, Doyala Sagara, Edase Koruna Kori. Oh, he Vaishnava Thakura, Doyala Sagara, Edase Koruna Kori. Diya Pada Chaya, Sodo He Amaya, Pada Chaya, Sodo He Amaya, Tomara Charana Dhori, Tomara Charana Dhori, Chaya Mega Dhori, Chaya Dosha Sodi, Chaya Guna Devotase, Chaya Mega Dodi, Chaya Dosha Sodi, Chaya Satsanga, Deho He Amare, Sechi Sangera Ache, Sechi Sangera Ache, Ekangi Amara, Nahi Paya Bala, Harinama Sankirtane. Ekangi Amara, Nahi Paya Bala, তুমি কৃপা করি সদা বিন্দু দিয়া, তুমি কৃপা করি সদা বিন্দু দিয়া, দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধারে, দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধারে, কৃষ্ণ से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जीते पारो, तुम्हारा साथा दिया छे, कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जीते पारो, तुम्हारा साथा दिया छे, कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जीते पारो, तुम्हारा साथा दिया छे, कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा जीते पारो, तुम्हारा साथा दिया छे, আমি তো कंगाला कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली, 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 गाय तवा पाछे पाछे, ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा गोया साधुरा, वेदा से करुणा कोई, ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा गोया साधुरा, वेदा से करुणा कोई, Let's read the translation quickly. Somebody wants to?
O venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet.
Teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer unto me 6 nights of holy association.
Prabhu?
I do not find the strength to carry on along the Sanskritan of holy name offering. Please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of holy name of Krishna.
Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant running behind your shouting. Krishna, Krishna.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. So that concludes today's class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we have a few 2-3 minutes. If anybody wants to share any key takeaways that you've taken from today, anybody wants to share with us quickly? Just raise your hand. Any questions or any key takeaways? What did you take from today's class? Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I have a question. Why did Narad Muni, in the story you said that he gave a blessing to butcher that you stay here or you die does not matter. So my question is that, being in that life he was killing, like he was adding more sins to himself. Rather, if he had died, he would have taken a new birth and would have kind of possibly reduced his sins in the next birth.
Yeah.
So why did Narad Muni gave him that blessing?
No, it's just it's a way of describing that material world there's nothing good happening here, the way what he was doing as a profession. It's a kind of a wake-up call, right? To say that whatever you're doing is not good, right? So that you should not do that. So that's why he was saying that you don't live and you don't die. You don't live like this. That's the main point of it. Live better, right? So you should leave that profession and do something, which will raise your consciousness. So that's the way he was talking about it. Anybody else wants to share?
Be stronger. Be strong.
Be strong. Yes.
Convictions with the study of scriptures.
Study of scriptures.
And following the bhakti path.
Following the bhakti path. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll conclude here. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, my name is Prema Gaurani Devidasi. I am actually filling in for Krishna Gaurana Prabhu. He had to step out for the preparation of our Rath Yatra. So thank you again, Prabhu, for the nice class. Actually, I had one question for all of you. How many of you here are proud of your parents?
Yes.
How many of you here are grateful because you're here because of them? Now, that being said, how many of you are thankful and grateful because of your grandparents? Yeah, because we are here because of our grandparents, right? If they were not there, we wouldn't be here. So similarly, we are grateful to His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Because if he didn't give that instruction to Srila Prabhupada, we wouldn't be sitting here at Iskcon Brampton today, right? So this is what we have to keep in mind. We have to be thankful because sometimes we come to centers like this in Canada and we don't realize what's the history behind who and how it happened and who made it happen. So thank you for sharing this. Now I'm going to make some announcement about what's coming up. So already last week we announced about